What's going on, guys? Krusty Case here from the Gold Boys Network, coming to you with the MLB slate preview for July 8th. Before we hop into this one, I want to remind everybody that you can get all these odds at FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's not waste any time. Let's hop into this. So the first one, the New York Mets taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We have Christian Scott versus Mitch Keller. I'm a big Mitch Keller guy. I'm a big Christian Scott guy. So this is a pretty tough one for me here. I do like the first 5 under, though. I like both these pitchers a deal. Christian Scott's been really good for this Mets team. Just made his first start back since being called up. Looked really good except for his last inning, I believe it was. And I just like him to be able to navigate this Pirates team. You get a Pirates team here who below league average against righties. It's not really hitting the ball well. And you get a Mets team who, on paper, they are hitting the ball pretty well, but on the road, for whatever reason, this offense has just been not nearly as good. Been a lot more inconsistent. So give me the first 5 under here. Next one, the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Washington Nationals. Miles McCollum versus Mitchell Parker. Mitchell Parker's a guy who I've talked about a few times. Really like his stuff. Young kid. Got a good mix. Pitches pretty well. For me here, though, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. McCollum's not a guy I typically back, but gets a pretty good matchup here to just kind of be able to, do what he does and go out there and get some ground balls. You're going to face a Washington team that over the last 30 days, not really hitting righties by any means, so definitely nothing to be super concerned with there. Cardinals not as good against lefties lately, but the bats overall has been heating up and really like them to kind of take advantage here against Parker. Do think this one likely is a little low scoring as well, but like the Cardinals ultimately to pull out the win here. Our next one, the Cleveland Guardians taking on Detroit Tigers. This is Gavin Williams versus Jack Flaherty. Cleveland enters this game favored on the road with Gavin Williams, and I think that is hilarious. I'm going to go with Tigers in the first 5 plus a half. So we're getting them as a dog here. We can take the plus a half at an extremely playable line, and I'm all over that. I don't see how you don't. Jack Flaherty's been outstanding. Got touched up a bit in his last start, leaving up 3 or 4 home runs. A little uncharacteristic for him this season. Really like him to bounce back here. Tough matchup for sure, but he's at home. You get a Guardians team who has to go on the road, and they've been a little more susceptible to just, I don't want to say Ks, because they really don't K a ton, but a little more susceptible to some worse at bats, worse plate appearances when they're on the road. Definitely not the same team that we see when they're at home. So give me the Tigers plus a half a run in the first 5.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one is the Colorado Rockies taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Dakota Hudson versus Andrew Abbott. This is a steep price to pay for Cincinnati at minus 185 on the money line. For me here, I'm going to go there, put it in a parlay. I hate this price for the Reds because you look at their bats, look at their lineup, look at what they've done, and I'm not sure they're deserving of being almost minus 200. But you get a Rockies team who away from Coors has been absolutely abysmal. And Dakota Hudson's a guy who, he's not great, but the Reds aren't hitting. So, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, well, the Reds are going to light him up, because I really don't think the Reds are going to light him up, truthfully. This total's at 9.5, and I'm not sure how we get there. The only reason I didn't take the under is because Dakota Hudson's pretty bad, and the Rockies bullpen is pretty bad as well. So, if the Reds wake up, they're going to score some runs. This could be like an Ellie De La Cruz home run kind of game. But yeah, give me the Reds on the money line here. Our next one, the Minnesota Twins taking on the Chicago White Sox. At the time of recording this, the Twins do not have a starter. White Sox are rolling out Chris Flexen. It's got to be the Twins for me here. For right now, I'm going to opt for the team total just because we don't know who the starter is, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. Chris Flexen has pretty much regressed to what everybody expected him to be. He's not good, gives up a lot of hard contact. Should get absolutely shellacked by this Twins lineup who's crushing righties over the last 30 days. I have no interest in backing the White Sox here in any capacity. They just blew a lead against the Marlins. They've kind of won more games than I've expected them to over the last week or so. You enter this Twin series a little bit before the All-Star break here, and I think they just get absolutely throttled over these next few days. Next one, the Texas Rangers taking on the Angels. This is John Gray versus Davis Daniel. So Davis Daniel, first start, had a really good umpire for him. I think he had a 38% CSW, which was absurd. And everybody thought he was like the next coming of Jacob deGrom. And then you went and looked at the umpire scorecard and you saw how big the zone was, and you no longer thought that. Well, at least I didn't think that. Struggled against Oakland, which I tried to explain to everybody he would. And I think he struggles in this spot too. Texas, as we've talked about, been pretty inconsistent this season. But Davis Daniel's a guy who, you look at his stuff, it doesn't jump off the page at you by any means. Not a high whiff guy, not a high chase guy. He's just kind of a guy. He has a decent arsenal, decent mix. He's probably a hair above league average, I would say. But nothing that's going to blow anybody away. So this Texas team, while they've been inconsistent, I kind of like them to get the bats going here. We backed them today against Tampa, and the bats rewarded us easily, heavily. I think they had 12 runs. So, I don't necessarily expect the same kind of output here, but maybe they're starting to find it a bit. Maybe they're starting to, get in the groove here, and I'm going to back the Rangers here to get the win. Hey guys, I just want to give a quick reminder that new users can bet $5 at FanDuel on any of the bets in this video and win $150 in bonus bets if the bet wins. Now let's get back to the bets. Our next one in the last round of this slate, the Atlanta Braves taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks, Chris Sale versus Yolber Diaz. So, we all know we're going to get with Chris Sale. The Diamondbacks are debuting Yolber Diaz. Pull this stuff for you guys right here. So, number 16 prospect according to the MLB pipeline. He's getting the spot start here because Montgomery's on the IL. So, my whole thing with this guy, he has a 3.27 ERA in 4 starts and 28 Ks in 22 innings in AAA. Good fastball, good slider, good curveball. So this is a tough spot though. Braves are heating up here at the right time, and I think this is a really tough spot for him. Obviously, the money line is super juiced at a -218, but that's where I'm going to ultimately go here is the Braves on the money line. Obviously, it's juiced if you want to pair it with the Reds. I think that's a great 2-piece. I think it cashes, truthfully. I really like Sale in the spot against the Diamondbacks. Obviously, don't love the strikeouts here because this is the Diamondbacks team at home has been really good at avoiding Ks. But I think just overall, Sale pitches really well in this spot. Yolber Diaz, I think first time through the order, you probably find some success just because you're going to face an aggressive Braves team. They've never seen you before. You might be able to get away with a little more than you normally would. But once they turn it over the second time through, I think this Braves team takes over and this thing gets a little lopsided here. So, love the Braves in this spot. Let's conclude the slate, though. We had a short one, so not going to waste anybody's time. Before we hop off, though, I'll drop you guys my 3 favorites. So, number 1, it's going to regrettably be the Reds on the money line. Obviously, like I said, it's got to be a parlay piece, but I do love that spot. Number 2, we are going to go to the Detroit Tigers plus a half a run in the first 5. And number 3, it's a tough slate. I'm going to go with the first 5 under in the Mets Pirates. Those are my 3 best bets for this slate. I appreciate everybody who tuned into the live ones Sunday morning. I will post that recap on the bottom of this video. I think we only had 2 losses so far with the Red Sox game pending. So just a great day overall for us. I appreciate everybody who tunes in time and time again to watch these videos. It means the world to me. As always, you can get all my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, tell 100 Gambler. Thank you guys.